Hi there, everybody. My name is Tim. First of all, I prepared for you some useful insights on how we need to run the cold mail campaigns in 2026. What actually changed since 2023, what kind of improvements, what the situation on the markets, and like all the things we'll be covering in this video. So let's say something like a universal manual for the people who just starting to run the cold mail campaigns. They are running cold mail campaigns already now and thinking about how to improve them. Or let's say the people who just learning about the lead generation thing itself in general. So let's begin our video then. And as I started recording the video, I actually found that I'm looking like a guy from a band called Kraftwerk, wearing exactly red t-shirt today. But anyway, it's just like a funny fact. So as we started recording the cold mail, right? So first of all, let me tell you, if you're still running your cold mail campaign like you did in 2023 or 2022 and you didn't change anything since then, probably means your cold mail campaigns are dead. Maybe you don't even know it, but they are. So till today, actually, I did more than 22,000 of different emails sent from the inboxes, more than 100 in different inboxes, and almost like half of it, like 50 domains in total. So just to bring you something like a summary of the situation that we do have, what actually changed, and or which way do we need to do it now, right? So this is like a video of story what actually have changed, why it changed, and what actually works right now, right? So let's say we have 5 chapters here. First of all, we're starting from setup, what actually used to work. Then there's like a rupture, what actually changed. Then there's going to be investigation stage, what I found in 22,000 emails. Then it's going to be the system, the 5 main fixes, and the proof, the numbers that I actually got from entire from all the like campaigns, right? So something like a summary or like how we call it, analysis of it, right? So let's start at the beginning itself, right? So first of all, let's start from a setup, right? So like from a setup stage. So let's say back in 2022 or roughly 2023, because like that time we used almost the same templates, almost the same approach. So cold emails were almost really easy. So the playbook you can find on almost every YouTube channel. So there was like a content creators who used to teach us about like a cold mail thing, or an example, there was a lot of videos made by the companies that used to sell us the software to do the cold mail itself, an example. I'm not sure about the instantly. Did they exist at the time? I guess they didn't. So let's say just something like that, right? So let's say we used to send 30 to 50 emails per inbox per day. So this number for that time was actually great, and we used to think it's actually a great number. Let me tell you why. First of all, we used to send 30 to 50 emails per inbox that time. So that time actually, talking in general, so we have different SMTP providers or different mail providers, right? We have Google, we have Microsoft, then we have how do you call it, like Hotmail. We did not covering like anything like a Yandex. There is no need, right? So let's say that time they didn't have the spam filters. They didn't have any checks for the messages that we used to send. So let's say in general, if we used to send the email message, it's just a variable like a name and company, like, because if you're using the tool, in example such as Instantly, you can just set up the template here, just using a variables from a list that you're planning, right? So an example, it will just send the email to the person, just putting the name in it and putting their company in it. And these kind of templates actually used to work pretty good. And at that time, we didn't have any security things from SMTP or email providers. So popping up like 30 to 50 emails, the time was pretty good. So we even used mostly like one domain and almost like a 5 inboxes at the time. So they work really good. In this case, as you know, right? So in terms of the lead generation, there's basically 2 approaches. So first is like a quality, and the second is quantity. I'm sorry. So the quantity is more like about the cold mail campaign that time, right? So this is how it started in 2023 or 2022, something like that. So what changed exactly? 2 things happened. So first of all, in early, I guess, 2024, Google and Microsoft tightened their deliverability rules. Pretty hard, actually. So they raised the thing on the bar called TMARC, SPF, and GKIM notification, or TNS records, if you know them. So domains that had been set up properly started landing in the spam. This is the first thing. Second, around that time, but later, I guess in 2024, yeah, same year, they rolled out engagement quality filters. This is the part most people actually missed. It's not just like your whether your email technically identified anymore. It's whether your sending pattern looks human, like the real human sending the emails. Whenever like recipients open your email, reply to them, whatever your domain has a real history. And here's what actually broke. Domains that got 20% open rates a year ago now sitting in the spam folders. 30 mails per inbox per day now flagged as a suspicious volume, right? And scrap list with 20% bounce rates now blacklist your entire domain. So let's say if you're sending the same template with how we call it, with the same just using the same template, just using custom variables such as name and company, what is happening actually, talking about from part of a Microsoft or Google, what they see, they just see the same template getting sent from different inboxes or different domains. They just flagging the template. So even if you're going to create new domain, warm it up, and you're going to send the same template, you're actually not going to get any replies because your template is going to land into spam section. Because what is happening, the Google and the Microsoft itself, they just flagging your template means like from any other inbox, if the same message, the same template is going to be sent, it's going to be flagged automatically too. So of course, the hell of domain of other inbox struggling too, right? So that's the thing. So another thing is scrap list with 20% bounce rate now blacklist your entire domain. So as I mentioned, right? Another thing is, let's say if you're sending the emails to someone who doesn't even exist, or like their email is not exist, or like it's got deleted or something like that, your message automatically lands into spam section. If it lands into spam section, it's actually automatically blacklist your domain automatically, right? So what other thing is free, words such as free or book a call and the word AI in your subject line, now spam triggers. And generic AI personalization such as, I noticed your recent post about scaling through, it was really insightful. Recipient spot, it actually got sent from instantly or something like that, and reply rates getting dropped. So here's the part most people don't realize. So though their open rate have been dying slowly, starting from 15, then 10%, then 5%, all over the months, right? So they don't even know it's a system problem. They think it's just, they blame the copy, or they write the subject line, they buy a new course or something like that. And even if you're going to open right now Reddit, so in Reddit we have a, how we call it, section B2B. There are lots of people crying. I know, like, they're running cold mail campaigns for almost like 5 years, and they just see the reply rate is just dropping, and they're crying because even most of those people don't even know how to personalize, or how to rewrite their actual template they're using to feed their ICP, something like that. So it's not the copy, it's just, the things, running the things that came from 2022 or 2023 and 2026 is actually ridiculous, right? Let's be sincere with you. Okay, so let's start with chapter 3 itself. So what's actually broken when campaigns die? So I went looking over the last year. I did about like more than 100, I guess, cold email inboxes across 40 something different campaigns, 22,000 emails in total, and different industries, different offers, different copywriters. And the same 5 patterns kept showing up. First pattern is infrastructure. Let's say the wrong domain set up, nowhere mapped, too many inboxes per domain, core problem. The second is the volume. Still sending 30 or more per inbox per day. And the number 3 is list quality. So let's say they scrapped them, unverified them, and they decided to start a campaign, and that's like most of their emails got flagged because they didn't deliver it, and that's actually broke their entire campaign. Yeah, so that's the thing. The 4 is a personalization, either first name tokens or generic AI sentiment, like a same problem here. The 5 is a sequence. Too many emails, wrong closing language, hard sales, hard closing, just sending the links, and mention, like how we call it, keywords such as free, like, or offer, something like that. So the words are actually triggering the spam filter. That's it. 5 things going wrong everywhere. And here's the good news. Fix all 5, and that will be the system, right? Yeah. So let's talk about our system whiteboard. So like how I think it should be and how it should be set up, right? So let's start from infrastructure. Skip this, and everything else is a wasted effort. Three rules. Rule one: 3 to 5 secondary domains. Not your main company domain, as I mentioned maybe before. So the thing is, most of the people doing the mistake, let's say they starting running campaign using their main domain. And on the main domain, they have like a website or any other services connected. What is happening? An example, maybe if your template getting flagged or your domain health is going to struggle, then your entire system, even with your landing page and your website, will be broken. So you don't need to risk your reputation of your company setting from your main domain, right? This is the first mistake you shouldn't do. Let's say buy the domains on the Namecheap or Ionos, we have this one, or even on a GoDaddy for 10 bucks each. Forward each one to your real site, stick it with .com if you can. Don't use any other domain. So an example, some of the people maybe ask me, like some people who just starting running cold mail campaigns. An example, I opened the Namecheap and I found there's like lots of XYZ domains or .online domains or .whatever domains. Can we use them? No, please don't use them. The first thing is, imagine somebody is opening their inbox and just see someone send the message from XYZ domain. They will probably think it's a spam or it's a bot or it's a scammer. So please be sincere even with yourself. If you want to do the cold mail campaign good, buy normal domains.com. Everybody using them and everybody know them, right? So of course you can buy the domains such as IO or like AI, something like that. They actually look professional, looks good, but the prices for them are pretty expensive in comparison to .com domain. So let's say if you can buy .ai domain, it will cost you like 4 or almost like a 5 normal .com domains. So in terms of prices, actually, it's better to go with .com domains, right? So next is, the thing is, fix number 2 is the volume. So in 2022, we actually used to send, as I mentioned, or 2022 or 2023, almost like the same numbers. We used to sell almost like a 30 to 50 mails per day. So what actually changed now? So let's say at maximum, we can send around like a 15 to 20 mails per inbox. If you're going to increase this volume more, most of your domains will getting flagged pretty fast, and the readability and the reliability of it struggles too. So let's say what is the math right now? So we're having 5 inboxes. So let's say 15 emails, 5 days, 275 per week. And let's say it's around like 1,500 emails per month, right? So per domain. So it's pretty realistic thing, right? So ramping them, as I mentioned, right? So like we're starting ramping them from 15, then to 20, then maximum to 25. Not in the first week, but after some time. Let's say first week you're running 15, you just see the durability and there are no durability issues, then we just ramping it 20. Then we just check it another week or a couple weeks. Then after a couple weeks, we check it again. We can ramp it to 25, right? So if you need more volume, you need more domains, not more emails per domain. Don't risk your domains. Just grab one more backup domain and use it in the case if you want to ramp more. But don't ramp the volume of message per the domain you actually send. Okay, yeah, that's the logic. Next is the fixed list quality. So as I mentioned, some of the problems we got struggling with was actually the leads quality or the list quality. So there's like different sources where there are people like getting their leads from. We have like tons of scrappers. We have lots of lead bases and all this stuff. Right now, most of the official lead bases that we're using, an example, we having like Apollo, having some of the like scrappers such as Epify. Leads, most of the leads actually coming here good. But what I'll actually advise you to do before even starting the campaign, if you scrap some leads, do the verification. Do the verification of them, let's say email verification, information verification. So to check, to understand, does this company really exist? Does this email already exist? So what I'm actually doing, example, we have lots of tools on the market. I will not name any of them because it will probably sound like an ad. So there's lots of the tools you can just Google and find to verify the domains. So not domains, inboxes. So let's say if you're scrapping 1,000 leads, you're just applying here the CSV out of 1,000 leads, depending on the source where you got them, you'll get around like 900, 800 good emails, let's say 50 like mixed emails and like 20 good bad emails. Don't use them at all. So just take them out of your entire campaign. Don't risk your entire domain health because of these 20 addresses, right? So that's the thing. So do the hand filter if you have time. An example, if you're just starting doing the cold mail campaign, you don't have much of tools. Or an example, double verify them through the different solutions. So some of the people even using different LLMs such as like Claude to verify. Or an example, like there's lots of things you can even build in ID to verify, but it will take a lot of time. So an easier manner, it's actually to buy just the tools to verify the emails. Yeah, that's the fact. So the problem number 4 is personalization, right? So first of all, stop using the words. I'm just going to jump here just to show you exactly these words. Stop using the words such as free, book a call, guaranteed, exclusive offer, AIs. Really don't use these words, please. Or stop doing AI generic personalization. So the first of all, the recipients will spot it's like generic thing. They will just think they talking with the ChatGPT or something like that. So let's say if you cannot do the really good personalization through the AI thing, we can do it manually, right? First line for top 100, right? For the rest, let's say you can use things such as ChatGPT. An example, you're building personalization layer using the GPT 4.0 mini. It works really good. So, but the thing is, give it a temperature, give it a setup, set it up properly for the cold mail campaign. So you'll not get the generic icebreakers for your cold mail campaign, and it will sound good, right? You can use it. So keep the variables such as first name, company name, role, like all these things. Keep them. But add more personalization, add personalization layer or even icebreaker to your campaign to make it feel like more personalized or better. Or an example, what we actually used to do for some cold mail campaigns, what we used to do, in example, we have a lead list. So we just made, using this lead list, we made a research about the people in this lead list. And what actually was the key goal of this research is to find what kind of social presence these people have, what kind of a content they have on their social media. And we used to write a template that was actually resonating with their content they're actually publishing. So an example, let's say, if there's like a dentist, we are targeting the dentist, and the dentist is having LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, he posted something like educational materials about different kinds of teeth, or like different kinds of toothpastes, maybe. So our template that we're actually going to write to him to target him will be something like, hey, I don't know, like let's his name will be John. Hey, John, I actually saw your video on your LinkedIn. It's actually looks sick. Here's like how you mentioned all the teeth and the toothpaste. It actually looks very good. But here are the things you didn't mention, something like that. So in this hook, we're actually catching those people. They start reading because they see someone is like complimenting our content and they reading the full email. So that's it, right? Basically, yeah. So talking about the sequence. So the fix number 5 is the sequence, right? So actually, in most of my campaigns, I'm using four email step. So not more, not 7 or even 10. It's too much. Just let me explain you how they look like and how do I write them. So let's say first of all is the first email, like a pitch. So it's the first reason, first line of value, and the question. Something like a soft CTA, like, are you interested in stuff like that? Just let me know, just send a reply. Yeah. The email number 2 is 2 sentences max. Did this get buried? It's just something like a bump. Hey, did you read my email before I sent to you? Please check this out. It's actually really good. Something like that. Email number 3 is actually just covering the same problem and new hook for them. So just something like an A/B testing in the same sequence, but we're doing it like in a one email, first email or third email. Yeah. And the next is the email number 4. Actually, the email number 4 is in this whole sequence, email that works pretty good. So most of the reply rates we actually got from this email. So this is something like a closing the loop. No need to reply. here's something I can do for you. If you're interested, just send me a quick reply so I can just walk you through what you can actually can get from it. So this is actually what is happening. So most of the leads, what they do, they're just sending the reply. They don't send like, yes, I'm interested. They're just sending the reply. They're just re-forwarding our message. Means they interested. They listen to us, right? Something like a lazy variation. Yeah. So that clause, please don't use want to book a 30 minutes discovery call. No need, please. It's just too much, right? Next is how to use it. Just start with something like, are you open to chat about it? Or are you interested in something like this? Please let me know. Just send me the message, something like that. So yes is what is going to be the trigger to close that. So if they're interested, they'll just send you a message, or just reward you the same message you sent to them. If not, they'll just stop, not going to touch your email. That's it, basically. That's the full logic, how it works like. So there is no need of future explanation on the things, right? And let's continue with the proof itself. So like section number 5, right? So real campaign anonymized. So let's say we used to run the same campaign, same offer. So, and maybe right now you can be wondering, does this thing that actually I mentioned here are really working? So the thing itself, we did some kind of like a small test in the beginning of the year. It was like, I guess, January, February 2026. So we started with the same offer, same list, same client. First, what we did, we ran the old playbook. So let's say the goal for this project or the scope for this project that time was just to test the offer and to see like the amount of responses we're getting, not like to get like the leads, booked calls, or just to test the offer itself. Like some of the companies do this kind of things to understand an example. Do they need to go on the market? Do their offer sounds good for the people? If the people are interested, it means like they can scale this thing, right? So as I mentioned, right, first of all, you run the old playbook. The most people are still running cold email like 2026. So the result was 22% open rate, 0.4% amount here, but 0.4% reply rate. So let's say effectively that, right? Still, we got some responses. We found people are interested. So in this case, we decided to scale it or to rebuild it and fixed all 5 things. So result was 58% open rate and 5.3 reply rate. So this is like a really good reply rate for a cold mail campaign, right? So let's say same offer, same list, same client. 3 changes. Removed all AI language from the copy, so we rewrite the templates completely. Next, we cut the send cap from 30 to 15 per inbox. Next, we replaced book a call. There was like a generic book a call with a yes trigger question. And that's it. Just the 3 changes. Tenfold reply improvement, right? So that's the thing maybe probably most of you wondering about, right? So talking about the system. So here is the thesis of the whole video. The system is the mode, not the copy. Most people will read this and run home to rewrite their subject lines. They'll get the same that numbers. The people who read cold email in 2026, actually the people who treat it as a system. 5 fixes working together. That's the system itself. And if you want to run it yourself, everything I covered is in instantly documentation that I'm going to provide under my video. So if you're interested, you can just check this out. I'll just upload it somewhere. And plus a few thousand hours of trial and you're nobody talks about. If you want, I can build it for you too. Link in the description. If you got value from this, subscribe. Next video, I'm actually going to break down my most of B2B buyer personas I use less and what actually drives buying decisions. See you there. Thank you.